The city of St. Matthews, mostly located between Trinity High School in Shelbyville and the seminary on Lexington Road. It consists of residents in the upper middle class to upper class, with a mixture of house sizes and values, but usually geared towards the wealthy. The best properties are towards Cherokee and or Seneca Park. Though the area is geared towards those with more money, the shops and stores in the area still remain to be locally owned and family run. The neighborhood is home to many families, creating a nice environment for kids to hang out around the area. One of those kids being Brick Tamlin. He's a goofy, artistic individual with several friends in the area. Right now, I think he's wandering around Cherokee Park, possibly taking some pictures of the scenery.
Hey, my name's Brick Tamlin. Around here, I'm a easygoing, friendly guy, and everyone usually says I'm kind of goofy. I don't know why, though. I think I'm just normal. I guess I'm just funny to some people. I don't know. Well, I've lived in this neighborhood all my life. Families, all of my neighbors are pretty much a second family to me, essentially. Everyone has kids here, so, plenty of time and room to play in this park where I'm at. This is usually where I just hang out with my friends Ken and Rich. My parents have lived here all their lives and they raised me here. They plan on sending me to Trinity. I've kind of given some thought to St. X, but I know my dad, he's lived here all his life. He's going to send me to Trinity. It's just like some legacy thing that he has going on. I don't know. I live down the road a bit. I live in this big blue house on the corner. You'll see it. Most of the families are really good and honest people around here. Most of them own the mom and pop businesses all around town. But recently, this corporate business bought out one of the Smiths' business, and now they don't have a home. They don't have any source of income. It's really tragic because that doesn't really happen a lot. Ken, Rich, and I usually like to hang out around here. And if we're not here, we're playing sports for Holy Spirit or down at the seminary doing bike tag. I'm an athletic guy, but sports isn't really my thing. I excel at the bike tag. No one can really catch me, but at football and basketball, I never really took them seriously, so I just spent the practices goofing around and getting laughs from the players. The coaches hated it. I was usually benched for most of the games. But, I just figured, why not just enjoy sports if I'm not going to pursue it in college later? I like to come to this spot too sometimes. It's really peaceful over here. It works really well with my art. I'm not really too sure of where this whole art thing is going to go, though. I know Trinity has a really good program over there, and I'm kind of excited to see what will happen as my years go by through there. Maybe I might actually get good.
Kenneth D. Noisewater, known now as Kenny. He's a well-known boy in the area. He's a quirky kind of guy that may occasionally cross the line when conversing with adults, or nearly anyone really. He always seems to be out and about in the neighborhood trying to find something to do. Roger Noisewater, Ken's father, is a well-known local drunk. For that reason, people in the area tend to gossip about his home life. He tends to never go home, so I'm sure we could find him in the area riding that old Schwinn around somewhere.
Oh, love my life. I live really close to this seminary with the whole Noisewater family. I'm Kenneth, the youngest and the best. Actually, my friends call me Kenny. My two best friends are Brick and Richie, and they both live in the neighborhood too. Pretty much anyone my family knows, including my extended family, lives in this neighborhood, and we know everyone in every house on every street. It's it's pretty cool because pretty much all I do and all me and my friends do is ride our bikes around and hang out and all that stuff. And, you know, I go to a great school, even though Miss Bush did give me a C on my last test. But, you know, that's okay. My parents weren't too mad. I love my parents. My dad and mom are both great. They love and care about me, and they're friends with Richie's parents, which is really nice because, you know, they always talk when we're done hanging out. So, you know, I got plans to go to college. I'm not sure where yet, though, but I do know that I want to be a businessman and make a lot of money. I already have my whole life planned out with a big house, beautiful wife, all that good stuff. So hopefully that all pans out for me. You know, I'm actually on my way to Pat's right now. It's a cool place. Rick, Richie, and I like to hang out and just, you know, talk, do stuff like that. You know, we pretty much do everything together. We ride our bikes to school every day, and we hang out all the time, go to Seneca after school. Sadly, though, I'm not going to go to Trinity like the two of them are. I'm actually going to go to St. X. I wish I could go to Trinity, but my dad went to St. X and he wants me to go there. But hopefully we'll keep in touch. I really hope we do.
The old Pat's barbecue joint is an iconic figure of St. Matthew's at this time. It's owned by Patrick O'Bahanon. As well as being a good place to eat, it also has become a meeting spot for kids to congregate in the back before a big day in the neighborhood. Pat almost never kicks anyone out, but if he does, it would most likely be because of Richard Vector O'Donoghue. He's the son of Dick O'Donoghue, and he is a mischievous, fun-loving, occasionally loud young man who tends to get in trouble.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm Richie, and this terrible looking place is called Pat's. It doesn't really look like much to you right now. It doesn't look like much to me, really, but this is where we've always hung out, you know. It's ever since 8th grade, and our brothers kind of passed it on to us, and our older brothers before them. It's a steakhouse, actually. It's a restaurant. This is just the very back of it. They have this little bramble here that hides us from the neighbors. Rumor has it that one of our older brothers, well, our older brothers now, came up here and stuck his head over this fence behind you and asked the lady in charge if we could hang out here, you know. It started humbly like it is now with bricks and stuff like that. But at one point we had an entire picnic table up here that we took from Seneca Park and some nice chairs. We even had a lazy boy up here at one time, but it was rotted out and became infested with spiders. It's a really nice place. It's kind of relaxing, actually. So yeah, they don't really mind us back here at all. I mean, we can hear them through the fence and all, but they just drink and smoke cigarettes all day and just talk about nothing. It seems to be like the same 6 guys all the time. It's kind of weird next year knowing that I'll be going to high school and leaving everything that I know. If you can't really tell, I'm kind of undecided. In our town, there are 2 big rivals as far as high school is concerned. They're both all boys Catholic schools, Trinity and St. X. I shadowed both this spring, and I'm still not really sure. I think I'm leaning towards Trinity, though. I kind of like the feel of it. It was really relaxed, and the guy I shadowed was cool. They're not really good at tennis, and that's what I play, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Sports, you know, high school sports, it's more about the experience than the sport. My brother's going to graduate this year, and I don't know, he like has to wear a tie and all. It's kind of funny, but they don't seem to mind. I guess having no girls would be weird too, but they're Sacred Heart and Assumption. They're essentially the same thing for girls, so I guess we meet up all the time. My brother's got too cool for pets, though. The hideout, he used to come here every day, but he got a car now, and he just whips around all day, and it's too cool for here. I wonder if that'll happen to us. Really hope not. So my 2 best friends, Ken and Rick, Rick's for sure going to Trinity. His entire family went there. All his brothers, his dad, his grandpa. If he didn't go, he'd probably have to sleep outside or something. Ken's the same way, except for St. X. It's kind of weird thinking I won't have both of them with me next year. We've been together since like kindergarten. I'm kind of scared actually about school next year. My parents have been really getting on me about behaving and worrying about school. They said all the stuff we get away with, we probably won't be able to in high school. It just seems like school on steroids. I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready.
The neighborhood still tends to gear towards the upper and upper middle classes, yet the old locally and or family-owned stores and shops are no longer around. They've been taken over by the more industrialized and commercial businesses that tend to take over wealthier areas of town. Trinity has been more built up now. Houses have been renovated and buildings tore down and remade for a new modern look. Brick, fortunately, really came to surprise everyone in the end. He took his artistic interest and really made something concrete out of himself. He's featured in many of the art stores in the area with his photography and paintings. He's one of the only original residents in the area that made something out of themselves. Right now, I'm sure we could find him at his own shop down by the outskirts of St. Matthews on Frankfurt. Hopefully he's not too busy.
Hello all, my name is Rick Talmond. I'm a proud Louisvillian, born and raised, and an even prouder Trinity graduate, and I'm also an artist. You know, it's scenes like these that I get inspiration from my art from. Everything flowing, everything so amorphous, but still retaining some great order. I can't really describe with words. I remember years ago, you know, when I was a kid, I'd go sit over in Seneca and watch all the leaves fall, and you know, much like these cars, they'd all sputter down on their own, but still it looked delicately choreographed, and it's stuff like that I get my inspiration for art from. Yeah, so I'd go over to Seneca when all my buddies had to go home from Pat's, and I'd be sitting there with nothing better to do. See, Pat's was our hangout spot behind the locally famous Pat's Steakhouse, and you know, we'd sit back in the little alcove tucked behind it, and we kind of felt invincible back there. You know, we'd play poker and talk about dreams of ours. Yeah, I had this good friend Richie who would also always accuse me of cheating in poker because I beat him so often. You know, we were just kids back then, and it kind of felt like the world was at our fingertips. See, in high school, I wasn't really a troublemaker or rebellious. You know, I had Richie with me, but Ken had to go to St. X, and his parents kind of made that decision. But I certainly was lost in high school, and graduation kind of felt like this impending doom for me, where I'd be thrown out in the real world and with no niche or purpose or calling or anything. But by then I knew I really loved art and I loved photography, and you know, I started skipping out on homework to paint instead. My dad made me get a job to pay for all the gobs of paint I was using, and next thing you know, that paint money turned into money for my first camera, and that's when my real passion for photography was born. And you know, even in my studio across the street, you can see all the photographs I've taken from scenes much like this one we're looking at right now.
You know, there used to be this air of youthfulness and kinship here in St. Matthews, but it seems to all be vanishing now. You know, longtime family-owned stores are being replaced by chains. Longtime running bars are being replaced by places like Drake's. And, you know, I hope the homely quality of St. Matthews can be preserved, but for the glory days, you know, the days of my youth, I can only regain those feelings of Pat's shadowy dwellings or our aimless bike rides around St. Matthews through my dreams, which are always so saddening to wake from.
Richard Vector O'Donoghue, known now as Dick in the neighborhood, surprised everyone by attending a university that was out of state. He returned 7 years later to assume his role as St. Matthew's upper-middle-class alcoholic. He obtained material success that he could have never imagined, but his home life couldn't be more of a disaster. There's rumors going around that his wife is cheating on him and wants a divorce. He drinks nearly every other day at the dying bar Kenneth D. Noisewater owns. I'm sure if anyone was looking for them, they'd go there first. So why don't we?
Hey, I'm Richard. You can call me Dick, just like all my friends, coworkers, and everyone called me. Yeah, I moved back into town just a few years ago with my wife and kid. He's about to be in the 7th grade, and we wanted him to get interested in Trinity for high school, so we decided it'd be a good idea to come back here. My parents lived here all their lives. They met right after college. They never decided to leave since there was someone in the nest until a few years back, so my younger brother graduated from high school just a couple years ago. Well, I went to law school, got my degree, passed the bar. I opened a firm with a guy I went to classes with, and it went on for a pretty good while. We won some cases. We made a bit of money too, and then we had to shut down one day because we lost too much cash because my partner decided it'd be a good idea to spend it all on a weekend in Vegas. So, yeah. Because of all that, I'm just back in town now, living the American dream. I got a pretty nice place right outside of here in St. Matthews. I don't do a whole lot as of now. I'll play some golf, watch some games with my friends, but I spend a lot of more time than I should around here in the bars, especially since a really good friend of mine's bar is going under. Yeah, this poor guy's losing the bar that his father handed down the ownership to years ago. I can't imagine how awful that's gotta feel, so I spend a lot of time with him here. We'll be alone, we'll drink till like 2 or 3 in the morning. Ken's always been a really nice guy. I mean, he's just like me. He's an average, upper middle class white guy with suburban life. We used to have so many great times together before things got too serious. We ride our bikes around all day and do nothing but go from place to place until we found somewhere to sleep. Yeah, Ken's taking the closing pretty hard, but he's been spending a ton of time with this guy named Rick. He was a fellow classmate of both Ken and I don't really remember a lot of him, but I mean, he seems like a really nice guy, especially for spending so much time with Ken now. Just another local, family-owned and operated mom-and-pop joint got shut down because of all these new modern restaurants and stuff coming in, closing everyone down. All these salt-of-the-earth people are just getting screwed over and kicked out of their jobs. I don't really see much good in this town anymore after all that. Recording. Well, I've been offered a new job at a law firm out in Oregon. My wife's all good with it, and we don't think my kid will mind much, but I haven't really talked to my friends yet, and I don't really know how to break the news to them.
Ken became an eccentric ladies' man in his young adult days, but now he's nothing but a lonely single man that bonds with Dick over their similar problems with alcohol. Ken will serve Dick free drinks just so he has someone around at the dead bar. It's usually so empty he even gets drunk on the job himself. They tend to reminisce on the good old days when they were kids and played bike tag together. Both of them believe that some of their best moments in life were spent riding bikes through the seminary over 25 years ago. It seems as if everyone in St. Matthews longs for those days more and more with each passing day.
Kenneth, you know, this is my bar now. I had these goals of, you know, becoming a great businessman and all that stuff. And I did go to U of L for a semester, but my mom and dad hit some hard times, so I ended up coming home and working in here, which was my dad's bar. Eventually, both my parents actually passed away within a month of each other, and it was a really hard time for me, but I did inherit the bar, and you know, that's something that means a lot. This place, it's called Kenneth's, which is pretty cool, you know, it's got my name on it. And at first I started doing pretty well. You know, it became one of the most popular bars in the area, and a pretty good restaurant too. But sadly, you know, we hit hard times. But before that, I actually met my wife. and was the love of my life. She was an accountant, but I found out she'd been cheating on me 2 months after I asked her to, after we got married. So that was a really hard time, and that's when I kind of, started drinking. Owning a bar and being depressed is the best combination. And then the bar started to go under. So business is bad because the neighborhood is just changing. It used to all be family-owned businesses, and now chain restaurants and chain bars are all taking over. I'm barely scratching by right now, and the bills are really starting to stack up. I do actually see some of the old friends there. Richard comes in here sometimes, and we'll have a drink and reminisce about the times we used to have together. And I hang out with Brick actually quite a bit now. Sadly though, I think it's about time I sell this place. I have so many great memories in this building and in the neighborhood I live in. I live in the same house that I grew up in on the street, but it's just not the same. I used to know every single person in every house in the whole neighborhood, but now I don't know who any of them are, if the houses are even still there and haven't been turned into some restaurant. I guess it's time to say goodbye.